speaker, Janice Scheckter, is going to talk about something that I think we all battle with, and that's collaboration. We live in an age where we are as far apart as we've ever been, even though we are sometimes uncomfortably more intimate. We know more about people we've never met than we do about people that we live with. And we let people that we've never met into our homes and our bedrooms and our lives via social media, where we won't let people who might have pretty good intentions towards us outside the front door. So collaboration involves people, it involves talking, it involves communication. And Janice is the right person to talk about this. Also, she's the right person because over and above owning a digital agency, I'm going to get in there, Indigo New Media, she's also founder and owner of the Wine School. Don't we all like to collaborate on that? In fact, one of her greatest dreams on her bucket list is to visit every notable wine region of the world, apparently, with a designated driver. Now, I have it on authority that her husband has applied for the job, but I'm sure she's taking any numbers after her talk. Ladies and gentlemen, Janice Scheckter.
Thank you. Sorry, no wine tonight. So, collaboration is the new black. It's changing the world in the most unexpected ways. I want to say thank you to Pechakucha for being curious about the topic. This is Tahrir Square at the height of the Arab Spring, where people who were absolutely silenced gathered in their thousands and suddenly had a voice. Kulen Khaled Said, we are all Khaled Said, was the war cry of the Arab Spring. Khaled Said's picture was pasted on Facebook and circulated. It was called the Facebook Revolution, but it wasn't that. Most Egyptians had no access to the internet. I call it the collaborative revolution because people collaborated around ideas to change the world. Uber, I'm sure many of you are familiar, recently valued at $62 billion. Highest valued collaborative startup, taxi company with not a car in the peer-to-peer economy. So, Uber being the highest valued, Airbnb is the third highest valued. Again, Airbnb is an accommodation business that doesn't own a room. What is the peer-to-peer economy and why is it so important in what's also called the collaborative economy? Because if I have excess of goods, if I have a car I don't use for hours in a day, or a room in my home, I can rent it out. And I can rent it out on the basis of incredible technology. So how did we get here? Industrial revolution, value laying the institution. Digital or the data revolution, value laying data in the information age. In the collaborative era, value lies, and listen carefully, to the single connected human. We are the value. Institutions and data will not change the world. We will. So people are connecting, and people are connecting to amazing things. Collaborative businesses are starting every day. People are connecting to resources they don't have, like skills and talent and finance. And they're doing it without boundaries, without national boundaries, and without any restriction. No resources required, like office space and landlines and photocopiers. So who do we have lessons to learn from? Lego. Lego put up a platform in the 1990s, was hacked. People put up great creations. What could Lego do? They decided to collaborate. Today, Lego understands the superfan better than anyone. Apple and Sony. Who remembers the Sony Walkman? So Sony had a 12-year head start on Apple. Why did they not come up with a preemptive mobile music player? Why they didn't come up? Not collaborative. Apple, a great cross-collaborative company. So we've talked about revolutions, we've talked about brands, we've talked about startups. What about us? What about you and I in cities? I want to be a tactical urbanist. I want to make a difference in my city. I love Johannesburg, but there are things that distress me greatly. So there are amazing things happening all around the world in cities. In Calgary, in Canada, there's something called generative journalism, where the journalism focuses on things that are making a difference. And it's rich content that really enhances those places, that people understand what's happening in their city. I don't think we know much here. In Raleigh, in South Carolina, the guy who put up these signs felt that people in Raleigh should be walking more. So he did what local government should be doing. Local government are either overwhelmed or just not delivering or just incompetent and over-urbanized, so people not taking over. Mexico City, 21 million people. Can you picture that? The most populous city in the Western Hemisphere. A study was done to improve a square. As you can imagine, public space is a really important place like Mexico. The best part of the study, in something bizarrely called Ho Chi Minh Plaza in Mexico City, was that the people who did the research said that every citizen is an expert, and you have to believe that. We're experts on being citizens. We have input. When last did the city of Johannesburg collaborate with you? When last did your city ask you your opinion and get you involved? Here in San Francisco, Parkland Movie Night, they show amazing movies on cities. There are amazing movies made all the time. And people collaborate. And believe it or not, people come up with amazing breakthrough ideas when they start talking about problems and they come up with solutions. In Iran, in the city of Mashhad, they started up putting up a line in the winter, and it was called the Wall of Happiness, and it said, leave it if you don't need it, and take it if you do. And it spread through collaboration to Shiraz and Tabriz and Tehran. What an amazing concept for citizens to come up with. What an incredible way. So we now stand and we think about collaboration, and we have to think about ourselves as global citizens. It's one thing that we worry about our city that's not doing things, but what about our globe? What about our role as part of humanity? I have to look at what's happened with this immigration refugee crisis and say, why have they waited for Davos to talk about this? Does it take washed up bodies on beaches for those leaders of Europe who have huge GDPs, who have aging workforces, to talk about this, who have educated Syrians coming into the country and blocking them out? What does it take? And in the case of 9/11, believe it or not, between the security agencies, they had enough information to figure out what was going to happen. They didn't share it. They didn't collaborate. Ego, politics, that's what happens. So, I now have just a little bit of time to tell you to collaborate. 40 seconds. So, the core of the collaborative area is trust. You can't collaborate if you don't trust. So, trust. And on a last note, and I'm going to wait for my slide, pause. Don't keep calm. Trust, care enough, collaborate. Thank you.